Hi, I'm Greg Chalmers, and I'd like to share a little bit with you today about storytelling, just a few little basics to get you started if you haven't done it before. Um, with clown storytelling, you can add so much. You can do big gestures, you can add funny and silly props and really build it, or you can keep it simple depending on the type of story and mood you want to generate. Now, we did have props in our story for this month, the story of the dinosaur who gave the gift of a Christmas tree. Now, to do storytelling, you need some basic things. First of all, your story has to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. It has to start someplace, something has to happen, and there has to be some kind of resolution at the end. You can have a single character in the story, and then things can happen to that character, or you can have multiple characters. A popular way to do stories is to have a character who gets into trouble, and then as they try to solve that problem they get into more trouble, and then finally at the end it's resolved. Usually in stories there is somebody that comes up against our main character. So our main character in a story is usually called a protagonist. They are heroes. Then the antagonist is the guy who comes up and causes the problems, and then there's the resolution. Now, in our story, we had a main character and we had secondary characters, but really the antagonist in our story was a dinosaur's hunger. So actually the good guy and the bad guy in the story were both our protagonist. Our dinosaur went out to do something nice for our friends. They went and found a Christmas tree, but then in the middle of the night they got really hungry and ate the tree. That's a problem. So then they had to go find a new tree. That was their solution. And it was a fun, silly story. And then we had a blow-off in the form of a moral. The moral of our story became our punchline for a joke. So really, sometimes clown stories can be like one long joke that builds up, or it can be a series of funny things that happen throughout the story. It just depends on how you want to approach it. You can make your story as complicated or as simple as you want. When you're first starting out, I'd recommend that you start simple and have fun with it. Our story presentation wasn't perfect, but it gives you an idea, a place to go. Now, if you want to do the story, watch the video a few times, figure out the words that we say, and then add to it. Make it your own. Add your personality. And you can do that by the silly things your dinosaur does on the way to getting the tree. And they could meet different people on their way to get the tree. You can make it more elaborate. We kept it simple for time, and so you wouldn't take too long to get through the whole video, but you can make a story be quite well. In fact, you can even act out part of the story. So storytelling is a wonderful medium, and I want you to all try it. You don't have to use this one. You can make up your own story if you want, or you can take a favorite story like the Billy Goat Scruff. I've done that one, and you can build it up and make balloon masks and have fun with that. Or you can do Jack and the Beanstalk and make it a clown in the beanstalk. However you want to do it, and you can build it around your own ideas. When you get in there, it can be a lot of fun. Try it out. If you have a sibling that likes to do stuff like that with you, you guys could create the story together and then do the presentation together. It could be a lot of fun. My boys like doing that. They're always telling stories to each other. If we go on a long car ride, I turn around and those guys are just chatting away to each other, and they're telling these really elaborate stories. Sometimes their stories get a little crazy. I wouldn't actually recommend doing most of their stories for a clown story unless they're deliberately working on a clown story, because, well, they get kind of out there and they like sci-fi and they got lasers and aliens and time travel, and wow, it gets complicated. But you can use it, and you can see it as a place to start and build and do stuff that suits your clown's character. Keep it light, keep it funny to start with, and have fun with it.